Alrighty, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Another beautiful day out here in sunny California. A little chilly, but hey, open water. We're going fishing. I can't complain, of course. We got the Titan X 10.5 in the back. Loaded her up this morning. It's about 10 a.m., a little bit later start. You know what? That's the nice thing about winter fishing is you don't have to get up at like 3:30 in the morning. You can sleep in, sip your coffee, take your time getting to the water. So about 10 a.m. and we are heading to the Delta, specifically Sugar Bar. It's a place that I haven't launched the kayak in a long time. Figured we'd give it a shot today. Got 8 rods with me, all the associated gear. And I'm gonna say one thing going forward. Last couple of videos, obviously introducing this new kayak, a couple of changes we did. I'm not gonna go over every little change going forward. There are some things the other day I was working on with Ramel, little tweaks here and there, just to kind of make the kayak a little bit more comfortable. Whoops, and I just missed my exit. You know, as I mentioned before, every time I get into a new kayak, it takes some time to get used to it, get it dialed, have everything positioned just like you want it, especially, you know, since the last main kayak I had, the Titan 10.5. I mean, that was like 5 years in that. So I got really used to it, and getting used to this will be a little bit different. So that all said, if you notice any changes or tweaks on the boat and you have questions, just leave me a comment and I'll do my best to answer it. But yeah, first trip officially on the Delta with it today. We are meeting Ramel to do a few more tweaks and changes, nothing major. And I have no clue how the fishing is going to be. This time of year is definitely that transitional period where things can really start to slow down, and once they slow down, it's not like it pops back up and they're good. You have to usually wait till springtime for the Delta to come alive again. So we'll just cross our fingers and hope that they're biting today. We can get on some kind of pattern. As always, take you guys with me, and we'll see what happens today. Oh, I'm on. There we go. First Delta fish in the Titan X. Feels like a dandy. Oh, he's got me in a cable. That little stinker. Are you still on? Got me in a cable. It might be still on, I'm not sure. Oh, wow. Yeah, he's got me in like a hoist. It came off. Oh, golly. Well, that's not good. I lost one. Took me into the dock.
Drop shot.
Senko. Man, oh man. Ah, felt like a dandy. Probably a good sign. Oh, wacky rig on the Delta. Always hard to beat. Yeah, do you guys like my scissors? I think I need a new pair. That makes me feel good though. It is 1:24 and literally started fishing about 5 minutes ago. Got our stuff done, a few other mods. Got bit that quick. Weightless worm in the dock. Something I don't ever really do here, but I figured why not give it a try. And got bit. That couldn't have been the only one back there. That's crazy. Just goes to show you how big the Delta is. This spot right here, this area, I don't think I fished it in over a year and a half, maybe 2 years. It's like folks that aren't from here wouldn't really understand, but this place, the Delta, is so freaking big. It's so many miles upon miles of water to fish, and you can just launch so many places and go so many different directions that, yeah, things like this will happen, which is cool. You can not go to an area for a long time and still have plenty of water to fish. It really does feel like the Delta's on its last leg though before the bass fishing really shuts down. I don't know, I just kind of get that sense. I mean, it could be different in other areas, but it just has that feel to it right now. Or I'll just break off again. Am I not good at fishing anymore? I'm blaming the boat. I'm still getting used to the boat, guys. Like, it's not my fault. That broke me, but it felt like a small one. I'm not upset though. I think that's a good sign. You know what? What am I doing? Let me throw a drop shot in there real quick. I think the weightless sink is a little better for these fish, but maybe they'll eat the old purple. What the heck? Another bite at least. Alright, let's retie again. It's just like the tournament sometimes. You fish a tournament at a place, location you're so familiar with. Practice is fine, and then tournament day, just everything goes wrong. And it's really, I think it's just the nerves get to you, and I think that's what's happening right now. I'm in a new boat, trying to put too much pressure on catching fish, and the nerves are just getting to me. I'm making silly mistakes. Encouraging though, 2 bites. I was hoping that these fish would set up with this incoming tide. A couple are at least. I gotta say that's encouraging. Oh, I had a bite. There we go. Alright, shabby. Oh, hello. Let's see if I can actually put this one on the boat. It's a good one. Oh man, he choked it. Choke edge. All right, solid fish. All right, they're biting and they want a weightless worm. It's cool to know. Shallow. We're in about 3 foot here. Grass is coming up about 1.5 feet. We are on a pretty high tide right now, even with the incoming. It's good. I like it when they bite. No. Like I said, we got a late start, like 1 o'clock or past 1. Pretty calm out here, only partly cloudy. You know, normally I'd start a day fishing with a moving bait or something like that, but just kind of felt like a weightless worm would be the best chance. I mean, maybe we'll pick up something moving and see if we can get some fish to react, but you can still cover a decent amount of water just throwing a worm, letting it drop, reeling it in, hitting another target. Like all my bites, like 99% of the bites are always on the fall, so you only got to let this thing fall like 1.5 feet, and then you can reel it back and pick another target. There we go. Oh, they're solid. Man, it's funny, they feel small and then they get big. They're just like tinking at it. Thank you, sir. Alright, I'll do a little something. See, just got to get warmed up a little bit. Lose a couple, break a few off. Man, some of the remaining hyacinth that's actually alive. Got some green to it. How's there not one sitting under there? It's surprising. Got some depth and everything. How is that possible? I don't believe it. That's like literally perfect for punching. Look, there's a little pocket of tules, got some depth right next to the channel. We're on the right tide, green hyacinth. I know there's a fish under there, I just don't want it to punch, I guess. That is too perfect of a spot for one not to be sitting there, hanging out. We made our way back to the one section where we got those three bites and 2 fish. Maybe they're grouped up in this little corner. I don't know. That would be nice. Ever since then, I haven't had a bite. I mean, we fish kind of fast, but we'll find out. No, there's more here. Couldn't have been the only 3 fish in this section. Just gotta make enough casts to land on another one, a fresh one. There we go. Oh my god, I slipped. Drag was too loose. Son of a gun. What the heck? What did I do that for? Yeah, I think they're grouped up over here. As soon as we came back, we got a bit. And I goofed her up. Still getting used to it. Still getting used to fishing out of this. I don't know how much longer I can use that excuse, but... Oh, he came back and got it again. I'm gonna keep using that excuse for as long as I can. Another solid. A big fish of the day, I think. Yeah, about the same size. Fun. It's good times. Good times. This has been the weirdest year on the Delta that I can remember. I've been in California for, 6-7 years now? But definitely this past year, 2023, was the strangest year fishing-wise on the Delta. For the worst. It was just brutal. I think I can only count on one hand how many frogfish I caught this year on the Delta. Just the fishing was so tough, and I don't know, we had that crazy amount of rain all through January and February. I came out here I think 3 or 4 times and got skunked. The Delta didn't even turn on till like the end of April. But my point being, I keep saying, this is the time of year the Delta turns off. Well, maybe the Delta's so jacked up it'll be good in the winter. Who knows? I wouldn't rule it out with the way it's been. Maybe everything's gonna be like opposite. Guys, cheers. So that is going to do it for today's first official trip out on the California Delta in the Titan X 10.5. I guess every trip now to a new body of water will be the first trip in the Titan X 10.5, so I'll probably stop mentioning that. Now, today was an interesting day, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video. Got a little bit later start, which is kind of nice, especially this time of year in the winter. Sleep in, sip your coffee, get your tackle ready. So arrived to Sugar Barge around 10, 11 a.m. Met up with Ramel the Wizard. We got a few more things done with the kayak, and then I think by about 1 o'clock we got out on the water. Beautiful day out there. I mean, glass calm, sunny, water was high, we had an incoming tide, and as I mentioned, this is like the time of year for sure. It seemed like it today. Like today was a stepping stone, a transition into what the winter bite will be like come January, when the Delta typically really shuts down and it gets super tough out there. I don't know, just kind of had that feel to it. I could be wrong, but I think the bite overall today was pretty telling, given the fact that I know these fish are going to be a little bit more lethargic this time of year. With all all the rods, all the baits on deck, decided to start with just a simple weightless worm, 5-inch worm, see if I could throw it on one's head. Started fishing right by the ramp near some docks. Man, I must have been like 5 minutes in. Threw it up into a boat hoist area. After about 2 seconds of letting it sink, line started swimming off, set the hook. Felt like a good one. I think I even called it a dandy. Wrapped me around a post, broke me off, but thought, hey, at least one fish is willing to bite, and relatively quickly after we got out on the water, so thought that was a positive sign. Moved on, went inside the track, started fishing around some toolies, sparse toolies. There were some clumps. It was pretty shallow though, even on that higher tide. It was only about 3 foot deep, but water clarity looked good, and made a pitch into another toolie clump. Felt the bite, line started swimming off, set the hook, broke off again. So yeah, strike 2. A little bittersweet. Bitter because we lost another fish. Sweet because it's another bite doing the same thing. And that's what they wanted. And in one particular little section, we covered water, but that one little stretch, that one little area of toolies had some fish, and that weightless worm was the perfect presentation to throw it in there, land on one's head, and they'd eat it. Again, even though it's finessey and it seems like we're fishing slow, I wasn't really fishing slow. You know, I'd throw that in there, let it sink for 2-3 seconds. We're only fishing 3 foot, so it got to the bottom pretty quick. And if I didn't get bit, I'd really back up and throw it somewhere else. Ended up catching a few nice ones doing it. It's no giants, but just quality fish. Just solid, healthy winter Delta bass. And that was it. We covered some other water. Didn't get any bites. I threw the jerk bait around a little bit, the spinner bait, even found some really nice punchable mats without any success. That one little patch, that's where we got our fish, and definitely happy to have those fish in the boat this time of year on the Delta for sure. So guys, that is going to do it for today's video, today's day out on the water. As always, thank you for watching. Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys in the next video.